Good evening. So we had an executive session on Tuesday, July 8th, and Wednesday, July 16th for legal and personnel reasons, including litigation matters. Before we get to resident comments here.
Okay, do we have a?
We do, yep.
Okay, so I think that we're all aware that, we were expecting a bit of a crowd tonight. I know there's some residents here that have concerns about a property located at 211 Cotswold Road. I just wanted to go through some procedural items, and then I think the supervisors might have a couple comments, and then once we get through that, we'll certainly welcome any comments that the residents would like to make. The township did issue an enforcement letter with regard to stormwater runoff, related to the property at 211 Cotswold Road. I think what happened, I think the property owners have done some work. The township is aware that more work needs to be done with respect to the stormwater that's coming off that property. Now, when I say coming off that property, we do have our township engineer involved, and he will be looking at that to make sure that there's not a greater problem. You know, we're not sure if the water's all coming from that property. It could be coming from some private properties. So our township engineer will look at that. DEP was at the site. I did follow up with DEP and asked them if they're going to issue some kind of report. So I know we are waiting for some more information from DEP because they're looking into it to see if there's something that they can require that property needs to do, or again, if they determine that it's adjacent properties that need to address the water management issue. So that's where we are with that. I know the owners have done some work. I know we're working with the owners. So we did initially issue an enforcement letter, but we're waiting on that, whether or not we're going to take further action based upon what work we can get done with the property owner. And also, we need to do our homework and do some further identification of what the issue might be with respect to stormwater in that area. I think the supervisors might want to express some opinions on this. Not opinions necessarily. I think they want to acknowledge that they've received your emails, there's been some videos sent, there's been photos sent. I know that the township manager has forwarded that to the supervisors, and they've looked at all those. So I don't know necessarily, when we open the floor to residents' comments, I don't know necessarily we need everyone to come up here and show us your videos or your pictures again. I think we have those. If you have more of them, you're certainly welcome to send them to the township manager, and she'll make sure that the supervisors are aware of those photos and pictures if there's more of them. I had talked to supervisors a little bit about trying to make this evening the public comment about really taking it all in and taking your comments and your concerns. And then I think what they will likely do is they'll probably take that under advisement and collect more data and information from DP, more information from our township engineer, and then we'll decide where to go after we've got, more facts about the property. So with that, I didn't know if the supervisors wanted to add anything to what I just stated.
No, I would just reiterate, like I said, I did see, we saw the emails. I have spoke to a number of residents about this issue for the last 9 months, beginning with the noise, the stormwater thing, which she has touched on. The noise, it's that property, the stormwater, may or may not be bigger than the 4 acres that we're talking about here. So it's all stuff that's being looked into with the engineer. Still pending DEP's report, in which case if DEP comes back and they need an ENS permit, it becomes a greater issue than us anyways, and it becomes an issue between them and DEP. So it is something we are aware of, have been aware of, and the property owner has been amicable, and they have been working with us along the way, and that's kind of where we're at with it. So anybody else have anything to say? Okay. So we will move on to resident comments, beginning with Annie Mismer.
And Chairman, I think what we're gonna do is, Kurt, do you mind going at that podium?
Yes.
I think what we're gonna do, if you have a public comment to make, you'll come up to the podium. We just wanna make sure when someone's speaking from the public, that we make sure that person speaks and no one else is chiming in or confusing matters.
Well, this is evidence of what's coming from.
And there is a 3-minute limit as well for public comment, just so that everybody's not aware of who has
No
it.
problem. All right, I'd like to thank everybody who's here. I also want to let the board know, look at the diversity of people that we brought together on one single issue. Doesn't happen very often. We know the 211 Gopher Road has been a junkyard for over 70 years. Now we're experiencing runoff from this property, and nobody knows what's in this runoff other than sediment, and as you can see in front of you, garbage that lands in the road, on people's properties, and in people's lawns. That is everything from plastics to glass. There's one lady's house here who her front lawn is literally ruined by glass. Now, this has been uncontrolled. This entire property has been uncontrolled for a very long time. There's many stories in this room of this property doing things that it shouldn't be doing. Now, we go to the runoff concerns. I originally sent an email August 7th to the township in regards to this. This is not a new problem, okay? I want to be very, very clear. This is not a new problem. I sent an email in August. We discussed in September. March, I was told that the engineer was getting involved. And now we're here in July acting like we don't know anything. It's very concerning to our residents when we're bringing this to you guys, saying, hey, we have a concern here. We have a junkyard that's runoff is coming off like nobody's business and getting worse by the day. If this was your neighborhood, you would be doing the same things that we are. We tried to communicate with the township, we didn't get anywhere. Now we're reporting to the DEP, the health department. We're getting our wells checked, we're testing soil. We are going to the nth degree to see what's going on. You guys should be helping protect us. And we're asking you to enforce the codes that you have to protect us. I don't understand why we're not moving a little bit more forward. Being that this was reported 11 months ago. Not a new problem, okay? I understand we've had rain. This has been going on since August 7th, the first time I reported it. Like I said, if this was your properties, you would be jumping up and down like we are. I know I'm a pain in your butt right now, but I have to protect my property. I have to protect my neighbors. And there's a lot of them that this is affecting. From Farmington Lane, all the way down to Maureen's and down Gopher. It's a vast swath of people that this is affecting. And I hope you guys can see this and start moving forward. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Nikki, Ms. Smith?
Hi, good evening. I'm here representing my family and neighbors about some persistent issues at 211 Gopher. Number one, we have a junkyard that is operating as an unlicensed junkyard. The site stores 2 or more unregistered, wrecked, or disabled vehicles, meeting the definition of a junkyard under Township Code 205-2. Yet it has never been issued an annual junkyard license in violation of 205-2A. No person shall engage in business as a junkyard or maintain a junkyard without first having obtained a license from the township. As such, it also constitutes as a public nuisance under 244-9E, since outdated unlicensed vehicles are specifically identified as nuisances. Number 2, the failure to meet stormwater and permit criteria. The property has undertaken no permitted land disturbance and did not submit a stormwater management site plan, in direct violation of Chapter 294, 106, and 301A. Applicants proposing regulated activities shall submit a stormwater management site plan, which is also part of the junkyard application. These rules require approved erosion and sediment controls, EMPs, to prevent soil or debris from washing onto neighboring properties as mandated. That's Chapter 294-301G. Impermissible permit submissions. In general, all zoning and building permit applications must satisfy the township's inspection checklist criteria, including erosion controls and drainage systems before issuance. Now, clearly the property at 211 Gopher Road has not met these minimum standards, as evidenced by absence of the SWM plan, erosion controls, or drainage implementation. And yet no permit has been requested or granted by them. The issues that have come about are during rainfall we have sediment, debris debris, glass, and car parts from the property flow downhill, crossing driveway, entrances, and polluting neighbors' yards. I currently have to use sandbags at the top of my driveway to keep the runoff sediment, debris, glass, and car parts off my property. This is a temporary fix. It is not sustainable. We are requesting the township board to take the following actions. Due to the junkyard not having a license, mandate removal of all salvage vehicles. Declare a nuisance and require remediation. Enforce the stormwater management compliance. Require the property owners to produce a WSM site plan and erosion controls as required under chapter 294-301. Deny any future permits until compliance is achieved. My goal is simple. Enforce West Caln ordinances to protect property values, public safety, and environmental quality, while ensuring that the residents of West Caln Township can rely on stated regulations and their township enforcement. I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you. Barry Durkee? That's it, Barry Durkee? Sarah?
No, but,
Oh, you good?
no, I
Okay.
signed that sheet by her.
Oh, no worries. Warner Eels?
Would anybody like to see any of this? This was collected at the intersection. 8 gallons of soil. This is a trust plate. Wouldn't this be great if a horse or a child hit that? My name's Warner Ellis. I have lived southwest of the junkyard since 1984. And I have been, of course, concerned with the junkyard, but I've dealt with it. And I was hoping I could either outlast or outlive Bob. Well, I outlasted Bob, but now we got a new problem. The erosion control is not working that they put in. It's just stones filling up on top. It's crazy. And for the first time living in West Caln, I feel, I've been here a while, I'm being punished. And I don't know why, and I don't know who's letting them punish me. But I know I don't like it. And I would hope somebody sees that. Have you guys driven up there, any of you? To take a look at it?
I'm by it quite regular. I've in the past been more concerned about, and know about the fire lanes issue, making sure that they were open. So I have to take a look at it.
Have any of you guys driven by there?
Mhm.
You have?
He said, I am aware of everything that's going on there.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, thank you for being there. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mary Lou Tedesco?
Well, my container is bigger. And there it is. And there are a lot of glass. I mean, I didn't pick up the glass, but I have to park my car in a different place now because I'm afraid I'm gonna get glass in my tires.
This is collected from where, I'm sorry.
So I live at 137 Cambridge Road. And, this comes pouring down into my driveway, into my, slate walkway that's right in front of my front steps.
It was your pictures with the glass I saw.
Yes, and all the silt and sand covers my slate sidewalk, and every time, and I'll quote it, I'm sorry. And I appreciate what everybody else has shared, because I don't know all those facts, and you really did your homework, I appreciate that, thank you for hearing me. I'm 66 years old. I tell you, I don't have the energy after work all day to come home and shovel all that stuff out of there. And where do I put it once I shovel it? And I have to do that every time it rains hard. And I have videos and photographs going back to 23, so I don't think that it's just started. We've been having this problem for a little bit. And I have proof from the photographs. I didn't think that I was alone in this problem, but I was so frustrated and I was losing hope. Well, what can we do about this? I mean, I take pride in my property, you know, I love gardening, and the stuff comes down right into my front yard. and I have to wait for it to get, you know, a little sun on it so that I can rake it up and it gets a little dry and I can rake it up and get rid of it. But I have to do that every single time. And you can see by that bucket that that's an insane amount of parts that are coming onto my property. And like I said, after the sand and the silt collects at where my grass is that meets the driveway, I have to park my car like 4 feet away from that, just so I can be sure that I don't run over the glass. And I'm out there, I went out and bought one of those big utility brooms, you know, what I'm going to call them, you know what you call them. and I had to buy one of them to, you know, to keep cleaning up the driveway. It's just too much for me, it's overwhelming. And I am so grateful that there's other people, not that I'm grateful that you're experiencing this, but as a group, hopefully something can be done about this, because my money that I'm paying in taxes should be, this should be taken care of. You know, I would hope that we could come together and fix this problem, because, you know, I'm not enjoying living there right now, to tell you the truth. Thank you.
Thank you. Gary Haberman?
So it's up, mine's really easy. I just want to get a couple dates in front of you so we don't run into a problem like we did last year.
Good looking out.
Santa nights.
Yes.
Up Saturday, 11/29.
We have Parks Board here? Oh, you taking notes?
Saturday,
Sam is
11/29.
when?
Saturday, 11/29, so
Okay.
Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then Saturday, 12/20. I didn't want to do another conflict with your tree lighting.
No, appreciate it.
No, we
Yeah,
were doing.
this is the Santa, this is the Santa across from the fire.
Yeah,
lady.
we're gonna do Saturday this year, so we didn't.
Saturday, which date though?
We were looking at, December, the first Saturday of December.
Okay, good, for the week before that.
We stepped on your toes, you didn't step on ours, just so you know.
Okay, I just want to make, because I know last year, it was a big deal for you, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, we don't want to step on your toes either, so, yes, you guys do an awesome job over there.
Come and enjoy it.
Thank you, I see what you're doing.
Is our Parks Board aware that that is rifle season over for deer? I don't know if they're thinking. Let's scout it. You're not here either.
Thank you.
All right, real quick, we had we transitioned, is that okay? Junkyard people, thank you, right, appreciate you coming out today. Junkyard people who came out to talk about the junkyard, thank you, for bringing it to the attention, and much of it we were aware of. I have one question, and only one question out of all the comments that were made. Is this, the particulate you're seeing and stuff that's coming down out of the yard? I know they've been doing a lot of work back there recently, and they've moved a lot of stuff around. Is that more because of, the moving cars around and moving stuff around back there, that stuff's kicked up and it's coming out now, and the landscape has changed?
They've
Or
removed a
is
lot
it
of
always,
trees.
sorry?
They've removed a lot of trees.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Removed a lot of trees.
Okay.
They've taken a lot of trees, a lot of underbrush. They've opened a big, if you will, a wound. The place was pretty much healed under Bob. And they just scarified.
So
the
this is
place.
what we're seeing and what you're bringing up.
When Bob owned that, as far back as '84, I don't think I found maybe a dozen pieces of tail left.
And when did this all start? Roughly.
Over a year ago.
A year.
When
So
did
about a
you
year
sell?
ago. Okay.
When they
It's been
started
about a year
moving the
now.
cars out.
They moved all the cars, and
And
then
right-
now they're bringing in new cars.
Right
And they're
on-
saying that they did not remove all those old cars and that they are the original cars. But we watched them come by with 18-wheelers removing them.
They stripped it, and now there's maybe 40 more cars up there.
Okay.
And according to Kim, the owner said to the DEP and her, and I guess Kurt was there, they were Bob's cars. They're not Bob's cars.
It only takes a VIN number to prove that wrong and prove us wrong.
What?
Just saying to the board and to everybody here, that only takes a VIN number to prove us wrong. Go run VIN
We're
numbers.
not looking to prove you wrong.
No, but I'm just saying, to get us off of your back and say that, because we were told they're not bringing in any of their cars, just today, we just got a report at 5 o'clock. they're
There's no
bringing
question
cars.
about that, I understand that, so I want you to understand, because for some reason I think you guys think that we're against you, and it's not the case. So, my understanding of this only came to like maybe nine months ago, and it had nothing to do with erosion. A couple of you had reached out to me and it was about the noise, a couple of neighbors. So that was the first thing, that the issue with the runoff is more recent than that. So begin with the noise. Well, I'm not speaking about you necessarily personally,
But there is an email in.
Yes,
To
well,
the
the
township
way-
on August 7th, so this is not a new
No,
problem.
I can appreciate that, I know that's stamped and it's there, but I don't believe unless I can't keep track of time, so it could have been August, in which case it was further than August that I heard that we were talking about noise, but whatever it was, my point is that it's not forgotten about. The noise issue was different than what this is, and we're doing what we can. So we're trying to enforce our ordinance in a way we can, but again, we have certain protocols to follow. So we sent them a letter and 30 days just came up on that, and from my understanding, they're supposed to be working with us. The silt sock, they did do what they were supposed to do. So it's not that we're not trying to help you guys, we are.
You sent them a letter concerning noise or?
No, about the erosion, about the runoff, yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that my first, you said it was back to 2023, you had pictures, I'm sorry, Mary Lou?
Yeah.
Back to 2020, the first I became aware of it at all, started with noise, it had nothing to do with erosion, or runoff, and this was less than a year ago, I guess, between 9 and 12 months ago, probably. So that was the first I heard about it, but apparently this has been an issue longer than that. So we are aware of what's going on, we are trying to help, we're not an enemy, we're not looking to shut you up or anything like that. So we wanna hear what you're saying, we are aware of it. I read through 30 emails and pictures and everything else, and I'm fully aware of what's going on. We're taking the steps that we have to, but we've got procedures and rules that we've got to follow on our end too. So it's not so simple to just say, shut them down. So.
And my other concern is that you're saying that they're working with you. They only went out that one day when the DEP came and brought in a pile of stone, and that was nothing.
No, from my understanding, whatever we've instructed them, they've attempted to do. They haven't snubbed us when we've sent them something. They responded. They said they're going to work toward it. Whether or not it's been adequate is a different story,
That's
because
the
it
end
wasn't.
observer.
Right.
Kim said that it's like, she put in an erosion issue. It would be about 48 days now.
So,
Did that ever
they
get?
did it, we did a stormwater notice of violation,
Okay.
which is what I told everyone. That is a 30-day clock on it. That 30-day clock expired the beginning of July, right before the holiday.
Right.
Our solicitor is aware of that, because they have contacted us and been working, doing stuff there. We did not submit to district court yet, that would be the next step.
Okay.
But because they're working, a judge, I believe if we take that to court, the judge is gonna say, why are you here? The owners reached out to you and they're working with you.
Well, they only stepped up after the DEP came in. They put silt socks out and
They did do
ran
that,
them over.
right,
They
we know
did,
that,
yeah,
yeah, we know
yeah.
that.
Correct.
They're not gonna fool the DEP.
No.
It'll all come out. Right?
Well, who's cleaning up the mess in the street afterwards?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Who's cleaning up the mess? Is it the township, or is it residents in the street?
There's actually a gentleman that was living on site for a while.
Yeah. Is that the guy in the trailer that we're talking about? Yeah, and we discussed that. So that, again, first time I heard about that was.
They
Shrink a bunch of that stuff up and put it out on the storage.
Township on one day.
I mean, they covered all of that.
What about the horse and buggies? That's gotta be injuring their feet. Does anybody worry about the Amish going up and down that road and getting metal in their hooves?
Or people walking their dogs.
Yeah.
None of us want to agree there, so.
Like I said, I just asked a question about redoing the area with buckets and stuff, working, taking trees and stuff down. There's a large pile of trees that are up on my property line, behind the place, you can see them from the road.
Can
That
we
was all
get your
taken out.
name, and just for the record?
I know him,
Oh, you
he's
do?
around.
I know.
But you
I
can
know
see them from the
everything.
road, there's a large pile there, that they had taken out from down bottom, down top, cut trees down, just pile them up there.
I think, go ahead, please.
I live on Farmington Lane, Johnson. Can I ask about the zoning? Isn't that a residentially zoned area? And isn't what we're talking about a business?
It's R80.
It's what?
It's labeled as, it's zoned R80.
Residential
that
and
mean?
open
Residential.
space.
So, we're looking into it, so it's been there for,
Right.
it was in there before we actually had zoning.
Hasn't been-
So they unfortunately, not, I gotta be careful what I say, right? Not unfortunately, they're grandfathered in, okay, they're allowed to be there, okay, because any zoning came in afterwards, you can't
And
change
Judy,
it.
you were allowed to run a junkyard there too?
It was.
They didn't change the use.
Yeah, as long as it's the same,
They didn't do, so if there had been, somebody built a house there in between, then they would do it in a junkyard. But as long as they keep it a junkyard, there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, we can enforce and make sure it's being run.
Still
Still allowed to
properly.
operate as a junkyard.
Still allowed to operate as a junkyard, right? So, but I want everyone to understand, just because you don't see movement doesn't mean something isn't being done. It takes a very long time to enforce things, okay?
Believe me, I'm as frustrated with the pace of government as you are.
Yeah.
Well, what are we supposed to do in the meantime when our properties are being inundated and damaged and there's everything that we've discussed? There has to be some kind of a short-term, not solution, but a mediation, whether it's silt fences, silt socks, whatever it might be, something to quell this to a small degree, where at least it's somewhat maintainable by everybody. We can't just let it continue to do what it's doing, because the erosion is happening so fast on that property, they're not gonna be able to keep up with it. And in the interim, we are getting pounded by this. Pounded. And we don't even know what's in the water. That's the next thing where nobody's really talking about. This has been a junkyard forever. What is in that soil that's going down the road and coating our lawns? What's in, did anybody take any samples yet?
Well, I just, if I may, I think that, it's, you know, it's critical that you all were here to express your concerns to the supervisors, because they were aware of the issue, but now they're even more aware of it. I mean, it's always good to hear from people directly what the concerns are. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll be talking to our engineer in the next couple of days. We'll look into whether or not we can move something. I don't have an answer for exactly how we're gonna address it quickly or quicker, but I think we do understand the urgency. Is that?
Yes, I don't have the answer for those questions right
Well,
here,
should
right
the
now.
owner
but
of the
it-
property have to pay for the removal of the crap in the road?
Again, I don't have the answers for how to solve what's down the road right this second. So this is something we.
What about damage to other people's property, her lawn, for a good example?
Yeah, I mean.
Let us dig into it.
I'm just asking questions.
Understand, no, understand. You've known me a long time, right? You know how, I don't sit idle on stuff, right? So, we hear you, okay?
I would love it if the township somehow intervened, because I don't think these guys have the money or the wherewithal to take care of this issue.
And you saying you feel punished, right? That doesn't make me happy, right? So I feel, I
I'll get
understand.
over that.
No, I understand. You're sitting there, almost, I can see how emotional you were when you were up here with it, I almost got emotional with you, right? So, like, let us dig into it. I'm trying to set an expectation, because just because we're aware doesn't mean things happen that fast. And we have, like Kim said, we could take it to court tomorrow, and the judge is gonna say to us, if they're working with you, why are you here? Right? And I don't wanna waste our taxpayers' money on something like that. We know it's gonna happen. So let us get back to it. Let us try to see where we are with the stormwater, loud and clear. I will be over there, promise. I have your addresses. If you don't mind, I'll knock on your door, come and you can show me, right? Well, I know where you live, right? But everyone else, as long as you don't mind, I get involved in these things, right? So, and Nate's been involved as well. So we hear you. Let us tackle it now, right? And let me just set an expectation, right? Because I welcome you. And again, you're not being a pain. You're not like this is why we work here, okay? This is the part of the job that we don't love, but we've got to do it. So, give us some time to think through it. If you come back in 30 days, we might hear the same thing over again. It might have the same answer. I just want to set that expectation, right? Give us some time to get our arms around it, and we will come to you. And but by all means, come back. I'm not telling you not to come back. You want to come back in August? Come on in. We love having residents here, right? But let us dig into it.
Has anybody dealt with the DEP before? How long does it take them to gear up?
You think we're slow?
I mean, so there's gotta be somebody out there
You have an
looking for a
engineer?
fight.
Someone said that you guys have an engineer. You guys have an engineer? Okay.
Yep.
Let's let our engineers talk, right? Let's let them tackle it, right? And let them go after it from that position with the DEP, all right? And fight that.
Is the board aware that there was a DEP, not by myself, I don't know who put it in, but there was a DEP complaint put into, about that property in September, about smells, odors, and there was a lot of reports of gas odors and oil and everything else?
Unless, is that what we talked about?
I didn't do the DEP, but I did call
Okay.
out the odors.
Oh, I was unaware of a complaint, but I was aware of the odors.
No,
Yeah.
there is a complaint in with the
Yeah, 'cause I
DEP.
couldn't, and
Yeah.
it was always the Friday.
Yeah.
So the weekend there was nobody around. Right. Anyway, when you come back, I come back last night,
Yeah.
it was bad.
Alright, so you guys obviously have a good communication network, right? So what we're gonna do is, I just asked him if we could get DEP here. No promises, right? But I want you to know you're being heard and we're gonna try, right? So, let us see if we can get DEP here at a meeting. And we've got your contact information. Seems like you're the tip of the spear in this, Andy, right?
Sure am.
We'll get in touch with you and we'll let you get the word out, but let's see if we can at least get them here so that you have their ear.
Appreciate that.
Okay?
Yep.
Kim was there when the DEP was out. What was their body language as far as you're concerned?
None,
None?
none. They casually walked around, took photos, took notes,
No concern.
and said, no
No.
body language. I don't
Doesn't
say
mean
there
no
was no
concern.
concern.
They don't.
They don't portray anything when they're there. They literally walked around, had their phones, had their laptops, with their little tabs, they were taking photos.
They're not
And they
emotionally
told them that
invested.
they would be issuing a
Yeah.
report, is what
No,
they
no
told them.
samples, right?
No, they did not take any samples. But they told them they would be issuing a report.
So
And
where
we haven't
does,
seen it.
what is the township's current position on them using the lot? Means that they don't have a permit currently.
They don't have a permit?
Well, I think we'll be fine with that, right? Is that us or them?
It's
So-
just, we haven't issued it yet.
Right.
So,
Yep.
I'll be clear on this. All the invoices for the junkyards all went out in April.
Okay.
Fortunately, I did not send them, and when I looked, the junkyard for that one went to the old owner. Now, with that being said, none of the junkyards have paid. So none of the junkyards have had inspections. One of them just expired on the 30th of June, so there's two that are out now. And the
Which
other
one
one
is
is
this
still
one?
valid.
Which one is this?
Mr. Reed Salvage,
No, I mean, which one is this one that,
April.
is that the one that expired?
April 30th, they expired.
Okay.
That was under
Just
B&L, not.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean that it closes up.
Reed's expired on
Yeah,
June
so
30th.
as far as the unfortunate answer to them operating as a junkyard is they get to operate as a junkyard. So it's a clerical error that they'll get their
But
permit and do
Can I add something
inspections.
there? The ownership had changed, it's not the same
The use
ownership
didn't
anymore.
change.
I,
Correct.
I understand the use, I'm talking about the permit.
Right.
I'm not arguing the grandfather use, I understand that completely. It's the permit that the township issues. B&L closed, that closes out that permit. So they were under the guise of the old permit until April. The property was settled on in November, ownership changed hands, so technically they should have had a permit or at least an application in around that time. So the April deadline doesn't mean a thing because it was change of ownership, change of business.
I don't know about the legality, the play by, whatever it is ultimately boils down to likely fines or something anyway. So again, whatever it is, isn't going to equate to negating them as a junkyard. So I don't know.
I'm not
I don't know
arguing
the logistics.
negating the junkyard, I'm
Yeah.
arguing the current use
Yeah,
of it.
the current use, we will get the permit out. I assume that's on Kim's
We'll
list.
get their
at this point.
application.
Yeah, we'll get their
What you're saying is
application.
whoever owns the property has to pull the permit.
Correct, yes, and they are responsive, we are in touch with them, so.
And
He
so-
also has felonies. Can, having felonies keep you from being allowed to have a permit or a license on a junkyard? He has a few felonies for drug dealing
I'm sure he's.
on a previous property,
First junkyard, I don't know what that is.
and that's the joke of that.
Let's keep that, we
Okay,
don't know.
so back to the permit. They can't satisfy the permit because they don't have the requirements for the permit coverage. I understand there's probably a few things on there that the grandfathered use goes over, but when we're talking about, the sediment runoff, fencing, things that can be done, they will not satisfy the permit. And the runoff issue should negate the permit being issued because of how severe it is, and we don't have a phase 1 test dump.
We'll have to fix those issues.
Right, this will all be part
That's fair.
of this
So
entire.
by right, they shouldn't be using the property, then am I correct?
Again, I'm leaving it to these two to figure out the logistics of this.
So,
It's
the legal,
all
and the
part-
legal piece.
Yes,
You're asking legal
right,
questions.
right.
No, but it's a, common sense tells you, if they don't have the permit, they can't, I understand the use, but they can't be using it as that until they satisfy the permit.
Can you
I
use
can't
these
commit to an
as-
answer for you right now.
I
Again, we
get it.
have our
I get
attorney
it.
here
Yep.
and our manager, and between the two of them, it will get figured out and handled whatever way it needs to. And it was
Let's
part of
focus on the stormwater.
Right, and that's the primary issue anyway. So again, whatever that ends up being, it's all part of the same animal here. So it will be addressed in whatever capacity, the maximum capacity we're able to on the township side of things. So DEP's involved as well. We can't control what their timeline is or turnaround period.
Are you wells in that area, or?
We're all
Yeah,
doing
we're all
it.
wells.
And we're all getting them tested and testing our
Public
soil
water
too.
comes out because of the Lizinsky site, so I'm just
Yep.
checking. You're not that far from me, and I'm on public water, so I was just asking. Okay.
I have a water test at Penn State right now, and I have a soil sample from the intersection of Penn State right now.
I'm sure you'll get that to us?
You're darn right we will. And triple it.
All
I
right.
made you smile. All right,
Let me
thank
get-
you, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I don't want to cut you off. He does, I don't.
No, I want to get Peter out because he's on the clock. So can you give us your report, Peter? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Chairman, our general fund operating accounts had a 1 cent cash account balance of $1,838,773.29. That was in the general fund operating account, the general fund savings account at $348,884.35 as of June 30, 2025. The escrow accounts within the general fund amounted to $61.93 at the end of the month. The fire fund cash amounted to $287,838.47 as of June 30, 2025. The EMS fund had a 1 cent cash account balance of $268,542.78. The fuels fund had a 1 cent cash account balance of $534,176.20, leaving us with total cash in all accounts of all funds as of the end of the month, June 30, 2025, of $3,339,077.02.
Thank you, Peter. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve treasurer report?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Approval of the May 21st minutes. This is you and me and all. I'll make a motion to approve. All in favor? Aye. You two, approval of June 18th.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Manager's report.
13 building permits, 6 zoning permits, 2 right to know received. Subdivision, 103 High Point, no updates. Criswell Road, no updates. Kings Highway Elementary, for anyone who's here about that, they will be here tomorrow at the Planning Commission, just so everybody knows, the applicant will be. Hillside Boat Foods, they're doing a addition to the store. They just got their review letters, they are resubmitting based on those review letters. And then 120 Reservoir Road is a new 1 lot, actually it's 2 lots, but cutting 1 lot off of a large parcel and they're pending reviews. And that's it.
Thank you. Solicitor?
No report.
Very good. Police?
Yes, sir. For the month of June, hours worked was 1,373. We traveled 7,888 miles. We had 1,153 complaints, 10 accidents. We had 113 traffics, 1 non-traffic, dog at large. We had 7 misdemeanors, 5 cyber harassments, civil assault, and habitual offender. We had 3 felonies, strangulation, flight to void apprehension, and witness intimidation. We had 2 DUIs, traffic warnings, we issued 58, patrol, business vacation checks, 648, other warrants, 7 bench warrants, and 1 overdose. That's my report.
Were the 5 cyber harassments all the same person, or do we have an epidemic of them?
Yeah, it's just,
Thank you, Chief.
you're welcome.
Roads?
Had 4 emergency response from the PD. We blacktop the ends on Cambridge Road, where we replaced the pipe, took care of tree laying down on Oak Lane off the park down there. Had 2 dead trees taken off the park. We made the back parking lot bigger, so more parking out back. We repaired the intersection of Burdell and Telegraph Road. We had a sinkhole down on Wagon Town Road off of Hatfield. And somewhere along the line, somebody, the old mill down there, they put a, drain pipe, hooked it into the storm water pipe that goes down, which we don't 4 at, Glenmore,
Where we're in our, road projects.
end of September.
Alright,
I talked to him Thursday.
okay. Thank you. Fire Marshal? No. Warringtown Fire?
Good evening. June 2025, there were 41 total calls, 19 here in West Caln, 12 in West Brandywine, 9 in other municipalities. They were 3 in Caln, 3 in West Salisbury, 1 in Valley, 1 in Salisbury, and 1 in West Fallowfield. Total time in service was 44.3 hours, 14.3 of those were here in West Caln. The apparatus traveled 1,828 miles. We used 95.2 gallons of West Caln diesel, 104.5 gallons of West Brandywine gas. There were 4 training sessions held. The average attendance was 23 members. Total training man hours for the month was 284. There was 1 work detail, which was a controlled burn for resident on North Sandy Hill Road, and 1 special event, which was a community shred event held a couple Saturdays ago.
Thank you. Can you hang around after?
Yep.
Thank you. Westwood, Mr. here?
Yes. Good evening.
Here.
The Warringtown Division of Westwood EMS, we ran 364 incidents for the month of June. 94 of those West Brandywine County, 72 here in West Caln, 36 in Coatesville City, 29 in Salisbury Township, Chester County, 25 in Clarksburg Borough, 17 in Valley, 14 in both Clearbrook Township and Salisbury Township, Lancaster County, 11 in Wallace, 10 in Caln Township, 9 West Salisbury Township, 6 in Highland, and 5 in Christiana Borough, Lancaster County. And you can see the other ones listed there, the ones that we were getting there for the month. Here in West Caln, we had 51 incidents that were medical in nature, 11 falls, 6 injured persons, 2 overdoses, 1 vehicle accident, and 1 fire standby. Our overall dispatch to on-scene time here in West Caln Township was 9 months. 9 minutes. So that'll be a long response.
Get over it.
You can see by the graph here, we're just on par for our normal summer call volume. We're trading off the sick people for people who do stupid human tricks. And we'll see, of course, we'll see that flip-flop here in the next couple months when flu season and cold season comes. But otherwise, we're right on par as far as call volume.
How are we doing, staff?
We actually just hired 7 new people, which is great. They're all in the training process. It's going to take a couple weeks to get them out on the road, but we're hopeful. Nationally, if we hire 7, we'll keep 4. So that'll be hoping it'll be a little higher than that. But yeah, we're getting some new people.
Ambulances coming in?
I beg your pardon?
Ambulances coming in?
Ambulances coming in, slated for later on this year. Supposedly, we're supposed to see them around September, October. Last we heard, that's exactly where we are. Current lead time for ambulances is 34 months.
Right.
I can build a house faster than I can get an ambulance. So we have, we're gonna be placing an order for another one, so another 1 or 2, so they'll be coming here in the next 3 years.
And just give us, I'm sure right here wants to hear it too, a little bit on the hospitals, what's happening, what it's like, and what's happening with those.
Of course. So what used to be Jennersville Hospital is slated to reopen next month. They're calling it a micro hospital right now. We won't be able to take a lot there, kind of like our general sick people. If you're having a heart attack, that sort of thing, we won't be taking you there. But Christiana Care is telling us that they'll be open, and like I said, probably end of August or so. Most people are aware Brandywine Hospital is not going to be a hospital anymore, so there's that. And we're working with the administration with Chester County Hospital to shorten our wait times. We're kind of holding our feet to their fire a little bit and let them know that, listen, we can't lean on this as much. We got to get back in service to be in our communities. So we are working with them as best we can. We understand that when we're busy, they're busy, but they're having times where we're holding the wall for longer than we should be.
Last question, what's the status at Crozier and how's that gonna affect us?
So Crozier's closed, and we had anticipated that really hurting us. When the initial closure came, we had wrote up an emergency operations plan and everything else. We were anticipating things like Longwood going into Delaware County, and then us spending all the time going to Longwood to cover them. Thankfully, some of the private organizations down in Delaware County have stepped up and taken the lion's share of those incidents in Delaware County. For those who were aware, Crozier Health System, they were handling 51% of all of the ALS, advanced life support, in the entire county. So it was quite a lot when they shut down. So those the private companies are taking them over. It's a wonderful thing, but they're also not billing for that yet. So they are going to the municipalities and saying, hey, listen, come next year, January 2026, you guys are gonna have to start paying. And unlike our area where we were kind of progressive and saw that kind of coming and with the municipal support that we get from Caln Township and our other municipalities that we serve, your support was able to kind of stay ahead of that curve. Well, Delaware County, they didn't have that set up. So they're in for a big sticker shock right now. So how that's all gonna play out, I'm not sure just yet. I don't think anybody knows for sure, but that is something that's on the horizon. So we're hopeful that the companies that have picked up the slack will be able to continue to do that, and will be able to get the funding they need just so that they can stay in service.
I know I said last question, then,
Okay.
how much of that's coming up this way as far as what they're transporting?
Not as
To our
much.
to our hospitals.
Not as much as we had originally anticipated. For anybody who's been in Delaware County, I wouldn't suggest going to Riddle. Apparently it's standing room only every day now there. It's pretty rough. Some of the hospitals down there, Presby, for those of you from Delaware County, it's pretty rough. We've definitely seen an uptick in the volume that's going to Chester County and Paoli, but not nearly as much as originally anticipated, which is also a good thing for us.
Thanks, Joe, appreciate it. Yes? No.
What's going on with the, at Lloyd Avenue, with that facility? Have you heard anything?
Not specifically.
Okay.
I don't know yet. There's been a lot of talk. There's actually a couple different facilities that have come up. There's a new behavioral psychiatric facility that just recently opened up in Westchester as well. There's a couple options that are coming out. Along those same lines, we did get an update. Pennsylvania Department of Health actually issued us an amendment to our entire protocol, specifically here in Chester County, so that we can start taking patients not necessarily to a regular hospital, but some of these other facilities that are going to be popping up. So as they start to pop up and we start to gain approval to be able to do that, that's going to help, in theory, alleviate some of the backlog and some of the transport time it takes for us to get from here all the way to Westchester and Paoli.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zoning officer? I think we have a report. Can you read it?
So he did a number of stakeouts and final inspections for building permits and zoning permits that were out. He is currently following up on some zoning variances that are not in compliance. And, he issued 3 additional notice of violations.
Thank you.
That's it.
Historical Commission.
We're still working on the, 250th anniversary project. And we're doing some research on what we call the funeral home down the street. But in its day, it was called Sunnyview Farm. And that whole entire area, acres and acres, were the big farm. It goes back to, practically the Civil War. So we're working on that.
Thank you. Parks and Rec.
We're in full swing on Residence Day right now, so Residence Day is scheduled for September 6th on Saturday from 11 to 2. We have a lot of activities, food vendors and et cetera, all lined up for this event. So we're really excited about it. We did open up 20 available spots for vendors for $25 to have this pretty much essentially like a parking spot. So if there are any vendors, paid vendors, please contact the township. We can get you scheduled for that. And we are also looking for volunteers. We don't need a lot, but anyone that would be interested in volunteering, we could use a couple more people just to kind of make sure things are going. Lots of food, activities for the kids. We have Home Depot coming, doing an activity. We have a band, so there'll be a band. So there'll be some noise and everything for a couple hours. We're definitely getting excited for it. And then once this is done, then we'll start ramping up for trunk or treat.
Thank you. Parks Department.
Yeah, good evening. For the month of June, we had 22 total park pavilion rentals. Business as usual with the mowing, dragging the ball fields with the excessive rain we've had so far this year, we've had a little bit of repairs on the fields, along with the dragging. We placed flags throughout the park for the July 4th holiday. Took some inventory of our supplies, had to order a couple, items. Safety mulch was added to the playground and the swing set. And over at the Birch Run Park, fallen trees were removed from the walking trail.
Thank you. I should add too, for anybody who's here, when we greenlit rubber mulch down at Lake Park, the vendor that we ended up going with never got back to us at all, so we ended up just putting organic mulch down for this year and just push it off for next year. So that's kind of a problem with having to go with the lowest bid sometimes, but, thank you. No business, informational. Our next board meeting will be Wednesday, August 20th at 7. And our town hall that was supposed to be scheduled for next week, we are postponing to be determined for scheduling conflicts and lack of, we don't really have much on there right now anyway. I think that's it. Can we motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor? Aye. Yes, sir.
We adjourn.
Too late.
Mr. Walker. No, good.
At the end of Gazillo Lane and Martin's Corner Road, there's a storm drain. It's ready to collapse.
It's in that driveway.
Yeah.
Now, did the homeowner, see, I have to check it out. Is that, I don't know if the township put that in?
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'd have to take a look at it, because like I said, it's off the road there, good piece, so I didn't know.
Well, the road's crumbling,
It's right there in that, I know where it's at. I've seen it.
I looked, after the last rain, I looked at it, and well, there's this much room between the walls.
John, is it?
It's a big.
Is that what lane?
Road and side.
It's down
Truck
on
hits it,
Marshall
it's
Road.
gonna-
Yeah, where did you go? I'm driving every single day.
It's down below the campground.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
gotcha.
a driveway.
Yeah, Joseph's Way.
Yeah, it's a driveway.
Okay. So that's gonna be where we're doing our project anyway, it's gonna be the way to that,
It's
so.
it's in, off the road.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right, well,
I'm okay with that.
we'll look into that.
Yep. I'm so sorry, I did not know that you were supposed to sign up to make comments. My name is Rena King, I've just opened a pop-up yoga studio, called Dandelion Yoga, and I came to the Parks and Rec Commission meeting last week, and I was told that it would have to be approved, by the Board of Supervisors. I would like to do pop-up yoga sessions in Layton Park, during the week, maybe in the morning and at sunset, and maybe do some weekend sessions. So I brought my certificate of insurance, and I was just here to ask permission if I could start that up.
We'll have to put that on the agenda for next month. But,
I think the consensus
wait, we
is,
have to vote on that?
no, but I
I
think.
was just saying, yeah.
No, it went to Park and Recs, they're okay with it, it's just an administrative thing. So
Okay.
that's what it is, make sure I have all their paperwork and everything that they
Yeah,
need.
she'll check and make sure you've got everything you need, but, yeah, it doesn't need to be voted
No,
on.
it doesn't need to be voted on.
So, yeah, that's fine, we'll figure it out.
I appreciate
And in the
it.
meantime, if you're doing informal stuff, nobody's, saying, you know.
No, it's just a matter of the field usage and how many times.
Yeah.
Because if it's a one pop-up thing, it's fine, but if it's multiple classes during the week, we have field usage fees, so that's why. Yep.
She'll do the logistics. Thank you. All right, yeah, we're done.